Hi, Kenajoku here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you a current deal that we actually have that's available. Let me just give you a little bit of background about who I am so that you have an idea of who I am in case you don't know who I am. My name is Kenajoku. I started property investing about 27 years ago, 1993 roughly. I have my first property I bought in 1993, and I've since then grown a small portfolio. I've also have commercial property, which I've got as well. And I focus mainly on buy, refurbish, and refinance. And then I rent it out on the long term. So I've had properties for a long time. So I have a bit of experience with property. And, I've not too long ago formed a property sourcing business. And I formed it primarily for sourcing properties myself, because I had a lot of clients that were asking me to source for them. So I thought, you know what, if I can source properties that's good enough for myself, then I can source it for other people. So without further ado, I'd like to share with you this deal that I have that you potentially will be interested in. So here's the format of the presentation. So we're going to, first of all, I'm going to give you a deal summary. We're going to talk about the summary of the deal. I'm going to give you the property description, give you some background of the property, why the property is being sold, and some background behind it. A few photographs I'll share with you. Sold and rental comparables I'll go through. We'll have a quick glimpse at the energy performance certificate. Then we'll look at some of the numbers on a spreadsheet so that we can see that the numbers work and everything is, we can number crunch and make sure it stacks up. And then I will share with you how you can actually secure that deal. So let's move on. So this particular deal is a 21% below market value. It's actually confirmed by a local estate agent that this is the actual figure. So it is actually 21% below market value, and I've actually got people on the ground that can confirm this as well. The property is in a place called Seaham, which is in County Durham. County Durham is not far from a place called Peterlee, where I've actually personally bought a property not long ago. It was about 8 weeks ago. I bought a property in that particular area, so I'm familiar with the area. It's a really good area. This particular property is a 2-bedroom end of terrace house, and it's in a standard building with brick. It's a brick building, so you won't have any problem with non-standard building material. It has a good sized kitchen and a good sized living room, and it has recently been renovated. So the story behind this is the owner that was there had run out of money. He started to refurbish the property. He was using quite high-end stuff to put in there, and he actually ran out of money. He's now gone to live with his parents, and the property's empty. The bathroom is the only thing that needs doing. He's removed the tiles. It just needs tiling, and the lid on the toilet needs fixing. Once those are done, then the property is good to go. It can be rented out very quickly. We have local agents in the area, and that the cost for that is only £500 to do that repair work. We've actually got local builders on the ground that can actually do that, so that's not a problem. The rental value in that area is £450. I'll go through that on the rental comparables. The market value for that property is £65,000, and the sourcing fee for this property is only £2,995. So, as I mentioned, it's 21% below market value, and it's a 2-bedroom terrace property. It's a good sized kitchen, good sized living room, and it's in very good condition, as I've already mentioned. And this is the front of the house. So you can see it's quite a solid building in good condition. So we have a photograph of this is the lounge. And this is the bathroom that I was talking about. So the builder has quoted £500 to complete the work. And he says that it will take about 2 days to actually do that repair work. And he's actually on standby, he's ready now. And he's ready, even though we're in the COVID-19 time, he's ready to go ahead and do that because it's a vacant property and he can quite easily go in there and actually do that. So that's not a problem. So let's look at some sold comparables. Move my picture out the way here. So this is a property that sold for $89,995. It is property is in very good condition. This was sorry, not sold. This was actually offers over. So let's look at another property. What's happened in that area? There's a lot of new build properties that have come up in that area. So personally, this is very good news because it can bring up the value of your own property. When they're doing property valuations, they will do comparables of local properties that in the area. So the more new build, the more higher price those buildings are, the higher value your property is. So this will give you an idea of what you could achieve later on when the market sort of corrects and settles itself a bit. So we have, there's another property here for 122,000. Sorry, that one was sold in the 27th of March 2019. There's another one here sold for 89,000. That's the 31st of July 2019. 89,000, immaculate condition, in the same area, Seaham in SR7, which is in County Durham. Let's look at the rental comparables in that area. So we've got a rental comparable of, I've put it down as £450, but by the time I show you these, you'll be able to understand why I've valued it at £450. So this is £425 rent let actually agreed. There's another one here that is let agreed at £500, and that was on the 26th of March 2020, so that's quite recently. Again, another one at £425 per month. That was available at a virtual viewing on the 9th of March 2020. So that gives you a rough idea. So roughly speaking, I would say 450 will put it in the right ballpark because it is in good condition. So looking at this, a brief look at the energy performance certificate. I've just taken a snapshot there so that you can just have a look. It's had a recent assessment on the 26th of February 2020. So it's recently been done, which is good as well. So let's look at the stamp duty. Stamp duty, remember when we're doing our calculations that we should always be considering and looking at the stamp duty so that we know that we've looked at all the figures, including the stamp duty. Stamp duty for this particular property is at 3% because it's below 125,000. So as you can see here, less than 125, it charges 3%. And this particular property is £51,450. So the stamp duty on that will be 1,543. But I will include that in the calculations in a minute when I show you on the spreadsheet when we have that calculation also included. So this stamp duty calculator, if you want to do that yourself, you can go to stampdutycalculator.org.uk and you'll be able to put those figures in. Remember when you're putting the figures in to click on the button that says additional property, because additional property takes into consideration that you're buying a buy to let, not a first time buyer. So it's important you click on that, otherwise you'll get the wrong figure. So we're going to live link to the spreadsheet so that we can stack the numbers. I can show you the numbers. So we'll click on here, we can get to the spreadsheet. So I'll move this out of the way. So the house price is $51,450. The solicitor's fees, broker's fees, and other fees, I put a conservative figure of about 4%, which comes to $2,058. Refurb that we need, as I mentioned earlier, is £500. Stamp duty on the last slide is £1,543, and its end value is £65,000. So when it's refinanced or remortgaged at 75%, it'll be refinanced at £48,750, which means that if you're buying, for example, cash or you're buying on a bridge, your full money in is going to be £55,551. And then what will happen is that you'll be left with £5,258 left in the property. So you actually be investing only £5,258 of your own money inside the property. The rental here is £450, which I put, is that the correct rental figure? Yeah, that's right. £450 for the rental. And the mortgage, it works out about £121 per month on a 3% mortgage. The management fees are agreed on the letting agent in the area is 10%, so that's £45. There's no maintenance cost because it's not a lease. It's not a lease, it's a freehold. So the monthly cash flow is £283. Annual profit is 3398, and the return on investment is 64.62%, which is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Because remember, you're only investing £5,000 in the end of it by the time you've refinanced and got your money back out. So I always look at exit as well, just in case you're thinking, you know what, I want to sell it, I want to exit. Just in case you're thinking of doing that as well, you can look at exiting. We always do the calculation for exit. So if you sold it at market value, for example, you'd make £10,992. So that's almost £11,000, and that's selling at market value. Then if we sold at 95% of market value, you would still make £7,700. At 90% market value, you'll still make £4,400. So almost £5,000, even if you were to flip the property. So that's not bad. It's not bad at all. So let's go back to the next slide here. So we're fully compliant. HG Property Sourcing is actually my own company. We're fully compliant. We are registered with the Property Redress Scheme. We also have a full professional indemnity insurance. We are registered with the HM Revenue and Customs for the anti-money laundering scheme. Also the Information Commissioner's Office for data protection purposes. And remember, all the deals that we have are emailed to our subscriber list. But what we're doing currently is we're doing a bespoke program specifically for clients, particularly in this time of COVID-19, because we're customizing the deals so that they're kind of, how can I put it? We're protecting them from depreciation. For example, this one is 21% below market value. So we're expecting the market to depreciate maybe in the next year or so by maybe up to 8%, 10%. So even if it does depreciate, we've still got the cushion of the rest of the below market value. So you're still going to be in profit. And that's the idea of doing it that way. So we bespoke our programs, our property sourcing specifically for the needs of our clients. So if you haven't had a meeting with me, then I suggest you arrange and have that meeting with me so I can discuss specifically your requirements and tailor-make projects that will fit your exact requirements. So for example, this particular project, we can manage it from the selling all the way to refurbishment, all the way to getting a tenant in there. So we can fully do that for you. That is not a problem at all. If you want to do that yourself, you can. If you don't, you want to be completely hands-off, we can take care of the whole process from getting the property across the line with the mortgage to actually getting a tenant in there and letting it out, because we've got agents on the ground already waiting to put tenants in that property. So that's really good. So to secure this deal, you need to text 07956 515 868 and quote SR7 1. That's Sierra Romeo 7 and then the number 1. And if you do want to contact our team, as I said, to perhaps make a booking with myself to discuss your requirements, then you can do that via info@hgpropertysourcing.com. I hope this has helped you to get a full idea of what you can do and what is available for this particular project and this particular property. And remember that we do bespoke property for other properties as well. In fact, I've got another property that's coming in that's going to be about 27%, but the scenario is a bit different because this one has got a tenant in there and the rental is a bit less. So this property is quite good at 21% with no tenant in there, so you can get the maximum on your rental. But do contact me, stay in touch, contact me so that I can give you bespoke property deals that are going to blow your socks off, that are actually going to help you with your finances and encourage you to continue to invest like I am for the long term. So God bless you. Thank you very much for listening. I hope I haven't taken too long, and I hope I've answered some of your questions that you might have at the back of your mind. If there are any further questions, do by all means email me. And if you're interested in this particular deal, it's on a first come and first served basis. So you'll need to send that text to me as soon as possible. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Bye-bye.